and welcome to another episode of Shea and Jordan Go Boating, the movie mapping podcast. Is that what we've decided is our little tagline, Shea?
Yeah. We always have to start it with you saying something and then being like, and then asking me a question like you just did,
Exactly. That's
and
the way I've
addressing
started.
me
Yeah,
by name.
that's the way I've started every podcast I've ever
Every
done.
single every single one you've done.
Yeah. Not even
You've
just this
addressed
one.
me.
No, yeah, I've gone, hey Shea, and it's really embarrassing because the other
Must
person
have
doesn't know
been
what to respond.
so awkward. Like, who's Shay? What are you talking about?
They might think I'm friends with Shea Wiggum. I wish I was.
Do you like him?
He's okay. I don't actually really like him that much. I don't really have a strong opinion on the guy either way, but I do enjoy watching him.
I don't think anyone gets that excited about Shea Wiggum. No offense to
No,
Shay.
no. There's a Shea I care about more, and that's you, the titular
Uh,
Shea of Shea and Jordan Go Boating, the
Thank you,
podcast where
buddy.
we link movies,
The movie
right?
linking podcast.
The movie
Jordan.
linking podcast. And last week we started with Carlito's Way. And
Mm-hmm.
what link did we end up choosing? How did we decide to link to this next episode?
Well, in Carlito's Way, there's a character played by John Leguizamo. He plays Benny Blanco
From the Bronx.
from the Bronx, one of our favorite, most cherished characters
We've ever covered.
we've ever covered. And so we decided to link old Johnny L to the Spike Lee joint. I said it.
You said it.
Summer of Sam.
Summer of Sam.
1999.
1999.
We're getting right into it. We're being
on the brink of the millennia. I know. I want to set it up to make people think that we're going to start talking about it immediately, and then we'll ramble for a bit. Trick them into listening.
You're not supposed to have said that, though.
We'll cut that.
We'll cut that. Never mind, actually.
I also realized in this research that Johnny Legs, if you will, is not the only link between these two movies.
Shut the fuck up.
There's two separate people within the crew who had large roles on both films, but we'll reveal that later.
Okay. I thought you were going to make me guess or something.
No, because I can't actually remember. That's why I'm going to reveal it later.
Okay.
Didn't write down anywhere, did I?
Interesting.
But yes, Shay. So our first pod is out in the world now, and it has been for at least 7 minutes. So
14 minutes.
14 minutes.
Double
wow,
that.
Double that. Take that 7, double it.
Oh, yeah.
We both made the same kind of joke, I guess.
Sort of.
And I assume the response has been extremely good. And
yeah, I haven't checked my phone, so could be good or bad.
Our phones will have blown up by the end of this podcast.
Yeah, there'll be pieces of them everywhere because
exploded. Overheated from too much good feedback.
Oh, so good.
That's my guess. I'm guessing that people are going to enjoy the podcast.
Okay, just to keep it like balanced, I'll guess people hated it.
Okay, cool. It's good to balance. And then if people think it's okay, then they're not welcome back for the next episode. It's a love or hate podcast.
No, yeah, you have to love it or hate. It's divisive, if you will.
My Victoria Line mug I'm drinking from. Shay's also drinking a coffee.
Yeah, but yours is a more fun mug. It's just kind of
mine is a very fun mug. Yeah, your mug doesn't seem to symbolize any of the London Underground lines.
Can show this.
You've got your Diet Coke with you, as always. Diet Coke, our #1 sponsor on the show.
Manifest it, you know. That Coke, we're out here.
We're here.
Enjoying your product.
We're glugging on it.
Is that the new tagline? We're glugging on it.
Diet Cloak. We're glugging on it.
Did you say cloak?
I misspoke, yes.
Maybe they'll change it to Diet Cloak. It could be good for Halloween.
That's true, because people often wear cloaks at Halloween when they're impersonating Dracula.
Dracula.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna laugh at that, but then I did.
Yeah, wow. See, even Shea can't keep a straight face at my jokes.
Mm.
Straight
You're
face Shea,
looking,
they call her.
yes.
I'm looking what?
I was gonna say you're looking very nice today.
Yes, I did note that both of the last episode and the bonus episode on our Patreon. If you say it three times,
Mm.
it's a tactic to get it into people's heads. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to our Patreon, by the way. There's going to be lots of fun stuff on there. I mean, when's that first
There's
one going up, Shay?
already
It's up already.
it's already up. Our bonus ep
Wow.
one. And
Our bonus app.
by
Mm-hmm.
the time this comes out, there'll be
Oh
two
yeah,
bonus ep,
that's
hopefully.
great. Yeah, yeah. Guarantee that, and then we have to do it.
And then we'll post our
Um,
nudes in there.
yes, we're gonna link it to our OnlyFans. Oh,
No, it is basically our OnlyFans. Or we just
it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I was in the middle of saying
Exclusive
something before I
content.
got distracted by my Patreon comments.
I remember what you were saying. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
You were saying how in the last two episodes you've looked like
I looked
shit.
like dog shit. Yes, this is true because I just had naps just before both records. So this one, I'm fresh as a daisy. I've got my second cup of Joe of the day in my hands because obviously it's
Mm.
quite early for you, isn't it, there, Shay?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
But you know what?
She's
Seeing
up at the
you,
crack of dawn.
yeah. I was gonna say seeing you is like a cup of coffee.
Wow. Don't get
Because you
too
wake me up. Don't get too
don't get
no.
too just don't get too overhyped, you know. Sometimes when you have more than one coffee, you get a bit jittery.
Yeah. Well, I had one and this is a decaf actually. I'm trying not to go too insane.
Oh, so you're pretending to drink coffee, really,
Was
for the
that a
sake of the
slam
pod.
on?
That was a
Mhm.
slam on the decaf coffee, yeah. Um, do you think it's worth mentioning what the original podcast title was going to be? I know we talked about it
I
off
thought
air,
we
but
already that was off air.
yeah, that was off air.
Maybe let's not talk about it yet and we can talk about it in the bonus ep.
Yes. So if you want to know what this podcast originally was going to be called, and it was very
It was
fruity, I'd say.
dirty.
It was a dirty, dirty name. Um, you'll get to hear about that on the bonus set. Maybe we'll talk exclusively about that.
Everyone we told the name to said you can't call it that.
Yeah, they said that's disgusting.
Yeah,
That was what
or
that
just
was the
that's
first response I
disgusting.
received. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you know what else is disgusting?
Hmm.
Murder.
I agree.
And this is a rather murderous episode we've got in our hands today.
Hmm.
Um, and that is because Summer of Sam takes place in the Summer of Sam. His name was Son of Sam.
Yeah.
Yes,
They almost called the movie that, I heard.
yes, I did hear they almost called the movie that. I would have preferred that, to be honest.
I don't get
Um,
why why the current title is like more because they were gonna not call it that to respect the family or something.
yeah, to respect the people that had been murdered and stuff, and make it clear that the film wasn't just about him and glorifying him as a serial killer and such. But yeah, this is our first serial killer movie on the podcast. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, of all the movies we've covered, none of them have been a serial killer movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Carlito's probably knocked out a few people in his time. It's interesting that you only become a serial killer if it's done in a certain way. Whereas Carlito's probably killed more people than Sam.
Carlito's murdered like hundreds.
Yeah, Carlito's put so many bodies in the ground. Sam, what did he get to? Like 18 or something? That's not that many.
It felt like so many.
Because of all the montages and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, a montage makes you think more things are happening than they actually are.
Yeah, it could be just like three things happening, but when you layer them over each other, it's like, wow.
With a song by the Who in the background. Yeah, it's like, oh.
What's in your hand?
My notebook.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, this is a friend of mine. Got it from me from Korea when she was in Korea recently.
You want to
Um,
shout her out?
yeah, her name's Nomi,
Like Nomi Malone.
just like Nomi Malone. But we love Nomi. We love Nomi on this podcast. and
Shout out to Nomi.
she provided this paper in which I wrote all of my Summer of Sam notes. And I've got pages on pages, Shay. I don't know about you. How was your viewing experience? Did you watch it with your mother?
Watched it with my mom last night. We started at 8 p.m. and we've been going to bed at like 9. So it was like, whoa, this is crazy. But we got so fucking hooked. We're like, we're gonna finish this damn thing.
Damn, that is late. I think so far neither of our films have been below 2 hours and 20 minutes in length.
We should go up like by half hour every movie
until we get to
like
Satan Tango.
Yeah,
Showa. Oh yeah, even worse. I mean,
or
better.
Out One.
Out One, yeah, we could do that.
Have you
Being
seen
a
Out
Revette
One?
podcast after all. No, I have not actually seen Out One. I know that you have, because you're a real cinephile.
How do you know I have?
I feel like I just know this for a fact.
I have.
I feel like it's something you've probably shown off about, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to the few people that would appreciate it, potentially,
How long is that full version of Out One? How many hours we saying?
13.
13. That's a pretty solid amount.
I liked it.
It's like over half a day.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching it on my laptop in my room, so it's kind of like, I don't know. Does that really count? I don't know.
Oh, so I love spending 13 hours on something for the response to be, yeah, I liked it.
No, I liked it a lot.
Because there's a shortened down version. I've always considered watching that, but like, I don't know. People say that maybe you should just watch the full one. I don't know.
I think that seeing, because they show it in theaters sometimes and with like intermissions, I think that is an experience I would really like to have, and hopefully I'll meet the love of my life there. Seems very bonding.
Yeah, maybe, or it's going to be full of pretentious assholes.
Yeah, me being one of them.
Right, okay, and that's the kind of person you want to meet and marry and spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, someone who looks down on people's taste and thinks they're better than everyone.
My favorite type of person, really.
Yes. Anyways.
Summer of Sam. Do you want to get into things already, or do you want to shoot the shit a little more?
I have nothing else to say to you.
That's fair enough. Where did
I don't know. Do you want to?
Out of interest, by the way.
Huh?
Where did you access this movie out of interest, by the way? Because I have the pleasure of having a DVD copy.
Amazon.com, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. And look, I have we'll bleep that. I have a booklet from inside the DVD case, which has an interview with Spike Lee at the 99 London Film Festival.
Did you watch the commentary with John Leguizamo?
No, I didn't. I don't have that many hours on my hands.
Yeah, it's a long movie.
Yeah. It's like, well, I might as well watch Out One.
True. I could have watched Out One in the amount of times I re-listened to our first episode.
You gotta stay on top of these things, you know. You gotta know what you're putting out there to the world.
Yes.
You're an editor, you know.
Yeah.
You're like the secret sauce, like Hitchcock's wife.
Right.
What was her name?
No idea.
Mrs. Hitchcock. Mrs. Hitchcock.
Mrs. Hitchcock.
I
wonder if she hates that.
Being called Mrs. Hitchcock.
Yeah, she's like,
I reckon she's dead. I reckon she won't have out to say about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyone who wants to borrow my copy of the DVD, you're more than welcome. Just drop me a line. It's got a very good DVD menu, by the way.
Yeah, it looked cool.
And that's something I want to talk about today, is the lost art of the DVD menu.
I kind of wish that was something I could design. That sounds like a fun job.
I will, for the first film of mine that I release, like officially,
on DVD.
I'll do on DVD. I'll get you to create the menu, and it'll have lots of moving parts and lots of subcategories and like little pages and stuff for you to do your handiwork on.
Do like hidden little elements.
Oh yeah, I love it when they've got their little Easter eggs. I remember there used to be one in the Memento DVD where you could play it in sequence.
Ooh, that's interesting. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I did. It was boring as fuck.
Do you like that movie?
Not really. I
Yeah.
did when I was a teenager,
I've only seen it
but
one time.
it's got Joey Pants in it though.
Oh, I love that man.
Yeah, he's a treasure. Italian American as well. He could have been in this movie.
He should have been.
He should have been in this movie. I agree. Um, he should have been, and I think it would have been a lot better. I liked the movie. That's what I'm going to say straight up from the get go. Is I did like the movie.
I liked
I
it
love it.
too.
I don't love it, but I
I
like
have
it.
critiques, I suppose. Yeah, critiques.
Um,
Do you want to say what it's about or say the actors? How do
um,
we want to do this?
yeah. How do we want to do this? Let's maybe say what it's about first. Um, as I already mentioned, obviously, the Summer of Sam is about the Summer of Sam, in which Son of Sam in 1976 to 77 was on a killing spree in
Rampage.
Rampage in New York City, based on a true story, of course. You may have heard
David
of
Berkowitz.
David Berkowitz, which makes him sound like he's Jewish, but it turns out he was adopted, I believe, by Jews or something. No, his like he was remarried into a Jewish family or something. So we're not taking this one. Thank you very much.
Good to know.
He's not one of ours.
All right.
He's no
Take
son
him
of
out of
mine.
the. Hey. That's a reference to the title.
Yes. Well, not the
Oh, I guess
title.
it's not the
His
title.
title.
Mm-hmm.
His title is Son of Sam. And obviously, when people are dealing with based on true stories, especially about serial killers, there is often a bit of a backlash against these things. Did you ever see this German movie Angst or Fear? I guess.
I actually haven't seen that movie. I remember seeing it on Tumblr a lot.
Yeah, so that was an 80s German serial killer film that I feel like Gaspar Noé cites as one of his favorite movies. He definitely
would.
rips it off. Yeah, he would. No freak.
Did you see that thing? I mean, I'm guessing you did, but that. Oh, you have a coffee and a beer.
Heineken 00, baby.
00.
Sponsor of the show, hopefully.
That would be a wonderful sponsor.
Absolutely.
Did you see the thing? I don't know if I want to talk about this, but like Lars von Trier was like, I'm looking for a girlfriend and a muse.
Yes, I was actually with you when you received this information.
Oh yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna apply, and you're like, don't fucking do that.
Yeah, don't do that. But he was basically being like, I'm a sad old man and I'm ill, and I just want a new girlfriend who can be my muse or something.
I mean,
And
why not? I guess.
yeah, and you considered it.
No, for sure. What kind of cinephile would I be if I hadn't?
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I wonder how he's coming along with that.
Yeah, I wonder what's the next step. Like interview, like how many
Yeah,
interviews?
maybe he has people help him interview. Maybe Vincent Gallo is on the panel or something.
Oh, Vincent Gallo would be big into that. He could help
Yeah,
really write some qualifications.
no fat chicks. That's what he
No
would say.
fat chicks, no non-white, blonde, blue-eyed.
Yeah, that's all he wants. And this isn't our prejudices. We love all races, colors, and creeds on this podcast. We're just
All are
quoting
welcome.
Vincent. We're just quoting Vincent Gallo's website,
Yep.
which, if it's still up and running, you guys should check out because
I recommend checking it
it's
out, but
wild. It's pretty wild.
I don't endorse it, but
No, I don't endorse it either. I remember he had quite a nice photo shoot a few years ago. He looked really, really good, but he was talking about how much he loves Trump in the interview. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do. It's unfortunate.
We shouldn't really give him the time of day, I guess. I wonder if him and Claire Denis are still on good terms.
What?
I wonder if him and Claire Denis are still on good terms.
That's a really good question.
Because they worked together like a number of times.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Nanette and Bonnie.
Yeah, I like Nanette and Bonnie. US Go Home. I love that one.
I love you. Let's go home.
Trouble Every Day, of course. The
I
big
don't
hitter.
know if I love Trouble Every Day, to be
I love
honest.
that movie. You know who also loves that movie?
Who?
Julia Ducournau.
Oh my God, here we go again.
Don't get me started on Julia Ducournau, man. I won't be able to stop.
This is a Julia Ducournau hate podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless she wants to be a guest, and then obviously she's very welcome on.
I personally don't hate her, so
I don't know anything about her as a person. I just think her movies stink. But
I
maybe
don't
that's
hate
just
her
me.
movies because I
Um,
don't hate women.
and my silence is deafening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, you'd think a
David
serial killer movie.
Berkowitz.
David Berkowitz. I just
Am I
also wanted to
pronouncing it
like.
wrong?
No, I think we're
Is it
both saying the same thing.
okay? I thought you were
Um.
saying Vitz.
Oh yeah, that's probably more like a old style pronunciation, like a Polish pronunciation or whatever.
Hmm.
So take from that what you will. I don't know if you know this, but I am Jewish.
You are?
Yes. Um, but I also want to just quickly say that I do really like that angst movie, by the way. It's great.
Okay.
It's pretty horrific. And I have double standards when it comes to stuff like that, where I'm like, based on a true story and you're that graphic, that's unacceptable. But then when it's fair, I'm like, it's great. It's a good movie.
It's great.
And from what I read, obviously Spike Lee is behind this movie. I don't know if we've even mentioned Spike yet.
We did. Because I
Oh,
said
we
it's a
did.
Spike Lee joint.
Joint. Absolutely. Um, um, he was coming under fire from the press and such for making this movie. But then apparently it was, I read this that it was like slightly rescripted to be less about him and more about
Yeah,
all of the surrounding characters.
I read
But
that too.
I don't really see any other evidence of that. So I think that might be bullshit. I reckon it was like this from the start.
Yeah, there's really not much about the killer.
Yeah, that's the thing. This movie is maybe a little misleading in its marketing and stuff, maybe on purpose, because people do have a, a desire to see this true crime stuff recreated on screen. But this film is
Yeah,
very little about Son of Sam and a lot more about this
social.
cavalcade of characters.
Yeah, it's more of like a social commentary, I guess.
Yeah. Spike Lee does love his social commentary, doesn't he?
He does. A lot of layering of themes, if you will.
That's his whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you're very well aware of who co-wrote this movie.
Our best friend,
Our best friend. Our
Michael
best friend
Imperioli.
Michael Imperioli. Yeah, him and some other guy. I didn't even. Was it
I
Archie
wanted.
Bucco, or am I making that up?
I
Because I
don't
know that
know.
he used to live with him.
Well, can I tell you about this article I saw about Michael
Oh my god,
Imperioli?
please.
He asked a ghost for fun to help them get funding. Or no, asked a witch to help get funding for the movie. You saw this?
I did read about this, yeah. And I like how every article I clicked on there was no elaboration on that whatsoever.
Really? I found one with a elaboration.
Really? What did he
He
mean
was
by that?
living in the Chelsea Hotel and there was a witch there. And I met someone living there who was a witch who said she could help me get it made, but it wasn't going to happen the way I thought it would. I was very ambitious at the time and wanted to get it made, so I resorted to tapping into otherworldly means to get it through the studio system.
Again, like that's still not that much more information.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that he said, I resorted to tapping into otherworldly means.
Every once in a while, we'll all resort to tapping into otherworldly means to get what we
We
want.
all have to. Yeah, we all will at one point or another.
That's how we're going to get our sponsorships on the show.
Shout out to Coke and Heineken.
Through a witch.
Through a witch, yeah.
Naturally.
Through the means. Otherworldly means.
You got any witches over there in Iowa?
I think there maybe 3 or 4 over here.
Okay. There's probably witches in London, isn't there?
Gotta be a lot. Could you
Got to
see
be a
that I
lot of
went on
witches.
mute?
No, when did you go on mute?
I did to clear my throat just now.
Oh, that's really nice of you. Is it because I laid into you too much in the last pod?
Yeah, my cousin like sent that clip to me and she's like, "You're just like me. I thought he was mad at you too."
That's so funny. Issa said that I sounded really mean in that clip too.
I think it's really funny.
I think it's funny too. So I think I'm not holding a gun to you or anything, but um say that I'm not mean. Say it right now on the pod.
You're not mean.
Say it louder.
You're not mean.
Thank you. I'm glad that we cleared that up. Um, so what are we talking about? Son of Sam.
The film Son of Sam.
No, it's
Summer
called
of
Summer
Sam.
of Sam. See, look, this is confusing. They should have just called it Son of Sam.
I haven't had
And
this
oh no,
trouble until
no, go
now.
ahead. Yeah, it's because you've not been talking out loud.
I talked to my mom about the movie a lot.
Yeah, to be fair, I've talked about a lot of the. I've talked about it a lot with Issa as well. I watched it with Issa last night. Who, if you, any of you are Patreon subscribers, you will know her from the Patreon episode.
Mm-hmm. She's a
In
wonderful
which
guest on that one.
she's a fantastic guest on that one, and she will be a future guest on this naturally. She is
Hopefully
in
our
front of
first
me, and she
guest.
shook her head, but hopefully
No,
our
did
first guest.
she?
Yeah. Oh, it's
She's gonna be on.
sarcastic.
Oh,
She
good,
said she
good.
was being sarcastic. She'd love to be on the podcast, or maybe she was doing an S for Shea with her
Wait,
hand.
she did an S to mean sarcastic?
Yeah, we have this thing with our friend Akiko. Can't say her last name because she's too famous. But
Yeah.
um, we have this thing with our friend Akiko where she doesn't really necessarily get sarcasm when you're being sarcastic because she takes you very literally. So if a joke's going on too long and she seems really confused, you just make the little S with your hands, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I understand. You're making a joke."
That's really cute. I love that. Good
Shout out to
communication.
Akiko.
Shout out.
Yes, it's good to communicate with your friends,
Mm. Mm.
especially. Yeah, I do this. I do the S to Issa when I'm missing you.
Oh,
She goes, Jordan, what's up? Why do you look so sad today? And I do a little S with my hands. And I'm like,
it's confusing though, because now that S has so many meanings.
Yeah, I know, but it could also stand for Summer of Sam.
SS. SOS.
SOS, save our Sam.
Save our Sam. I hope my microphone isn't too far from me.
I can hear you pretty good, so probably not. Anyway, I have this desire, just like other people. I'm sure you've had this in the past. Have you had a period where you used to listen to like true crime podcasts and shit?
Oh yeah. I would listen to them I used to go on bike rides at a phase of that.
Now you're much louder. I can hear you really well.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, I might have to do some messing with the
Levels.
audio.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I feel kind of bad. But I
It's
guess
okay.
it's my problem. Anyways, uh did that seem passive aggressive? I didn't mean to.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Now I think it was passive aggressive because you said that, but
I didn't mean it at all that way, but all right. I'm just I'm
you're
mad that
flustered now.
yeah, I'm mad that I had the microphone over there, but what can you do?
It is what it is. Anyway, your history with true crime podcasts.
I would go on bike rides every day and I would listen to My Favorite Murder, obviously, and it made me really scared of people. Like anyone I saw like on my bike, I was like, get the fuck away from me, because it makes you like very like on edge and feel like you're about to be murdered always.
The idea of you just cycling down the street, just being like, get the fuck away from me to everyone you pass. I don't like that podcast. I don't trust those two.
We're gonna alienate a lot of people, but
Well, they're very flippant about murder. That's my take. They
no
kind of make
comment.
fun of it. I don't know. All right, yeah, if they want to be a guest on the show, obviously they're very welcome to.
I don't know if I agree. Like, I think you can make fun of things.
What, like the Save Our Sam joke that I just made?
Yeah. I mean, I
I
feel
know,
like
but
humor is there to make us feel better. Like, that's the point of comedy, right?
I know, but it just feels like sometimes they toe the line. Maybe I don't know. It was many years ago that I listened to this podcast. This literally would have been like 6 years ago or something. So
Yeah, me too. It was quite
maybe my opinion has changed at this point.
I enjoyed that podcast. Wasn't my favorite thing ever, but yeah.
And I think this whole thing with true crime is that people like it because it's very titillating and tantalizing to be like, oh, people are out there doing this stuff, and this is a real story that I'm hearing, especially with those true crime podcasts. Like they go into the graphic detail, and you can really like, think and feel it. But obviously, this film kind of shies away from a lot of that compared to other serial killer films. And like I said, with the marketing, it makes it seem like it's going to be a Son of Sam movie, But this film is clearly just a classic Spike Lee movie with that as a sort of like
backdrop.
Yeah, exactly, a backdrop. So in a way that led slightly to my disappointment because I was kind of expecting something a little more titillating. Whereas it just became like another do the right thing type hot New York summer business.
I mean, I kind of like that he's just like sticking to what he's good at in a way though too. I don't know. That's an interesting point. That I didn't think it didn't disappoint me necessarily, but it's an interesting point.
Well, because I didn't really realize that's what disappointed me until afterwards. I knew something was slightly off with the way I'd received the movie, but Issa had such a good time with it. And she said to me, oh, I liked the fact that it was, like you said, like a backdrop to the whole thing. And it's actually just like a story about all these other people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, that was where I didn't really gel with it too hard, but that's okay.
That's okay, dude.
It's okay. That's fine. And I'm a sucker for New York in the 70s as well. Like there's lots of great stuff there. Lots of exciting things to CBGB and stuff like that. Studio 54.
Mira Sorvino's car.
Mira Sorvino's car. Mira Sorvino.
She's so lovely and gorgeous.
Yeah, I have a big crush on her. Although I found out recently that she's a very devout Christian, which isn't a problem necessarily. But she's in that movie Sound of Freedom. You know this new movie, Sound of Freedom?
No.
With Jim Caviezel. It's like about like a guy who saves people from sex trafficking, but it's like secretly like a Christian message movie. That's also like related to like QAnon stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. It's like there's a whole weird thing going on there.
I never said I like her as a person, but I do find her very attractive.
Yeah. My favorite Nepo baby.
Yeah. Favorite.
I don't know. I say that because I saw her most recently.
You say that every week.
Yeah, I have a new favorite Nepo baby every week. I'm very excited to see who it is next week.
Me too.
So is there any sort of like overview of this thing you want to do before we get into the actual contents of the movie?
This is what I would say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say it is a story about
I'm listening.
Different groups of people and how they react in their reactions to a serial killer in the 70s.
Yeah, man. That's it.
Yeah.
This would be Spike Lee's first movie that's not like a predominantly black cast as well. Which he would then continue to sort of do to this day. Well, I mean, his past couple movies have been like that again. But I mean, like he then did the 25th Hour and Inside Man and stuff like that. He had like a run of movies about white people. I remember a friend of mine in the past being like, she was black and she was talking about Spike Lee films, and she was we were talking about it, and she was asked like a number of people like, "Oh, what's your favorite Spike Lee film?" And she said, someone said 25th Hour, and she said every white person I've ever asked who's what their favorite Spike Lee film is has said the 25th Hour, which I thought was really funny because this is white movie, you know.
I thought that the white people would be kind of performative and try to say not that movie.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
They either say that or do the right thing, you know. But
yeah,
I'm not really that much a fan of Spike Lee, actually. How about you?
Yeah, I think there's always something left to be desired. I do think Do the Right Thing is like fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't
I
like
don't
it?
know. I feel like it's like aged really badly,
I
like
really like
aesthetically and
it.
everything. I don't know.
I like how
I
it
don't
looks aesthetically. Bright
Mm,
colors.
yeah, obviously, Shea is the bright colored queen
I
that
love bright colors.
we all love and deserve. You have very lovely eyeshadow on today.
Yeah, I put on fun eyeshadow for this.
It's very nice.
Green eyeshadow for all the green colored scenes in this movie.
There is a lot of green colored scenes in this movie. But yeah, up until this point, maybe let's talk about Spike Lee first then. Up until this point, he has they're all kind of similar movies in a way, you know. It's lots of like ensemble casts. And it's all about racial tensions, and it's all
Like
about New
I
York
feel like it's
City.
always like simmering up to a big climax where there's a fight that kind of summarizes the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like Hong Sang-soo in a way. It's just remaking the same movie over and over again.
Like I love how that's always our point of reference. Hong Sang-soo.
Hong Sang-soo is sort of the OG one of that.
Oh yeah, he invented that basically.
He invented making the same movie over and over again.
The baddest to do it.
Yeah, the baddest ever. He's such a bad boy. Is he still with what's her face?
Oh, I don't know. Kim Min-hee?
Kim Min-hee, yeah.
I hope she's out of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
she's
me
too
too.
beautiful for him.
She's too beautiful and he's too old. It's quite an age gap between those two.
She should date me instead.
She should. I actually don't
Love
even know
her.
how old she is. Yeah, she's fucking great, isn't she?
She's probably just a little older than me.
But yeah.
Oh my God. She's 41 years old.
Fuck off.
She looks incredible.
How could she? How old's he? Like 60?
The top video I'm seeing is one that says she got blacklisted.
Blacklisted from what?
How an affair ruined Kim Min-hee's life. Was it her affair career
with Hong Sang-soo?
Yes.
Ah.
Subscribe to Miss K-Drama for more K-Drama news.
Has this become a K-Drama podcast? Very swiftly.
K-Drama corner with a K.
K-Drama corner over here. You hear what Park Chan-wook did last week?
Tune in next time to find out. Oh my God. I can't wait till we get to the... Sorry. Never mind.
We can't wait till we get to the what? I want to know now.
Till we get to the dog.
The talking dog?
Yeah.
Voiced by John Turturro.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny. Because he's like, you know what? I think I should start killing. Like, that's how I feel he talks.
Yeah, and people said that Spike Lee was being insensitive with this movie. What are you talking about? Anyway, previously to this, forget about it.
Did I say something offensive?
No.
Okay, good.
People were complaining about Spike Lee being like, you know, putting that in with the talking dog, having like a kind of a comedic moment was a bit insensitive.
Oh. I don't agree with that.
I mean, you were there slapping your knee, elbowing your mother and being like, look at that funny dog.
But I just said that I think humor is there to make light of things. So
you did.
I'm being consistent.
You are being very consistent. And that's why we love you on this podcast, Shea. And that's why we'll never replace you.
Unless I'm not careful.
Yeah, because Shea Wiggum is always on the other end of the line, and then the podcast name wouldn't even have to change.
I like the idea. He's just like kind of sitting in a chair, waiting and hoping.
Just rubbing his knees, like, come on, man. Checking his watch.
In a dark, scary room. My
Yeah.
back hurts.
It's probably because you do this podcast on the floor.
You bragging because you're on the couch now?
Yeah, I've got a real good setup this week. I've got a table on a table, so it's like at a perfect level for me. And
Yeah,
I don't have
I
to bend over.
posted the
I've got
picture on the
a light.
story.
Oh, okay. So anyone who's seen that picture, God,
Jesus. It got 2
um,
likes.
it got 2 likes. Who were they?
One is your wife,
My wife. Great.
and one is my friend Cindy, who finds you attractive.
Ooh, hey Cindy.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey Cindy.
That ought to turn her on.
Well, I was doing the scary movie voice, the Scream
Oh,
one,
okay.
because she's
That
called Cindy in Scary Movie.
I do find that voice kind of sexy. Thoughts on
Oh,
that?
do you? I think you're a sick pervert.
You sick fuck.
You sick fuck.
This
Always
in
got
this
to
ep-
get a one Al Pacino impression.
well, this episode I'm thinking we're gonna do a lot of like the Italian accent.
Hey, yeah. Very
Hey,
true.
I don't know. Ruby the skank.
Um, so Jesus, the film he did before this. You ever see that? He Got Game.
I actually haven't seen
That's the
he
one
got.
Spike. That's the one Spike Lee joint. I will say I like adore. It's great. So
What are you
so good.
looking at over there?
Nothing. Issa distracted me. No, it's fine. It's fine. There's a TV to my left. I get distracted by shiny lights and stuff.
Is she playing Fortnite?
I couldn't say.
Yeah, no looking at that.
Yeah, no, it just seemed like a very tense moment, and I got distracted. Anyway, He Got Game is my favorite Spike Lee movie, and
I
I did actually
watched
watch that quite recently. So coming off
I
of
was
that was another reason I was slightly disappointed. Let you talk, I know.
um I watched Crooklyn yesterday.
Oh, how was that? I never saw that one.
It was very similar to this. It
Right.
was like that structure we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I liked it. Yeah, I gotta watch He Got Game. That was one of the movies I wanted to watch before this, but didn't have time.
That's great. It's got Ray Allen, the basketball player, acting, and he's so good. He has no
Okay.
right to be that good. He can't be that good at basketball
He
and
should
that
have
good
a
at acting
license
at the
to
same
be
time.
that good.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me, sir. Do you have a license?
Do you have a license to be
Excuse
that
me.
good?
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a license to be that good?
I'm
And
gonna
then he
lock
hands
you
you the
up.
license.
Ah,
He hands you the license, and it says license to be that good on it, I guess.
that's all. And it's like
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
children's handwriting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has a crayon.
It's misspelt.
uh,
Who's
um,
misspelt? Am I right?
um, yeah, she was the hot teacher at my school.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Woo!
She taught me a lot about the what's the
Human
sexiest
anatomy.
subject?
Oh,
Yes. Glad that she was the human anatomy teacher, because you know what, I thought was the sexiest one was I can't remember what we called it, but it was like the health education one.
yeah, that's human anatomy, right?
Yeah, it was like, but she
Did
there
you
was this
get turned
teacher I
on a
had.
lot in that
Well,
class?
it was one of those ones where this teacher, I'd had her for a different class, like maybe like I think I had her for like religious studies or something. But in this context, when she starts talking about condoms and like we're putting condoms on like penis shaped things, like I suddenly saw her in a new light.
Yeah.
And it made me
Yeah.
go, huh, huh,
Hey, she ain't too bad looking.
huh, yeah, she knows how to use a condom.
Maybe maybe I
Nothing sexier than safe sex. Am I right?
sponsored by Duralex.
Get that on the merch on the t-shirts. Nothing sexier than safe sex. Shea and
Mm.
Jordan go boating.
Do you remember when we were in Gay Paris
Mm.
and we saw there was like a box for Duralex condoms like attached to a wall
Oh my god, I do remember this. And this middle-aged rotund fella with his family when
with
he was
his whole
walking past it,
family?
he started to bow down to it like it was his god.
It was like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
It was fucking bizarre. That was a treat. That was my favorite. That was my
I
favorite part of the
loved.
whole holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um so Summer of Sam.
Summer of Sam.
So we got our big hitters in here. Obviously, Johnny Legs was the person who was our link from Carlito to this movie in the lead role. It's nice to see him in a lead role.
Yeah, he doesn't get to lead a lot, or star a lot. And his name is Vinny in this.
Vinny Vincente.
Vinny. Vincente.
Um, and obviously the other main guy is Adrian Brody
As an Englishman.
as an American man doing a terrible English accent on purpose, I
Holy
guess.
shit. Yeah, his English accent is very bad.
But it's set in the 70s, and this kid loves punk rock. And who was punking out harder in the 70s than us, eh?
I did love his outfits, like his British shirt.
Yeah, he did have some pretty sick outfits. And his
I
funny
was thinking
spiky
like
hair.
his outfits like would be cool nowadays.
Oh, absolutely. All the cool kids would definitely dress like that. Issa's wearing something right now that I reckon he could pull off.
I bet.
Like a mesh top kind of thing,
Is she
and
inspired by
chain.
him?
Issa,
Chain.
were you inspired by Adrian Brody in the movie last night? No, she wasn't.
No.
This is her own thing, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, she hadn't
Um,
seen the movie until last night.
mhm. Yeah, this is true. Um, maybe actually before starting to list everyone else that came up in the movie was actually quite a fun surprise. So maybe we should take the film scene by
I
scene now.
like that. Like list the first, the main players.
The two we've seen on the poster, and we've obviously mentioned Mira Sorvino already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yes, so this movie, which I think Spike Lee likes to do often, he uses someone real to sort of introduce his movie. So Jimmy Breslin, who was the guy, is he a newscaster or something?
Yeah. It
Confidence,
said
confidence
that
in
the
your answer.
summer
I
of
love it.
Sam, I'm not sure. But he said the son of Sam wrote the letters directly to him.
Yeah, so that makes me feel like he was some sort of personality of some sort in that way. But basically, he likes to set the scene. Obviously, it's set in the real world in the 70s where this really happened. And obviously, how old is Spike Lee actually? When was he born? I want to know how old he was in 77.
I bet he's like my mom's age.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
he
your mum
is.
like the movie?
Yeah,
Good.
he's 5 years older than my mom. He's born in 57.
Oh, okay. So
So
he would
he's
have been 20.
66.
He would have been 19, turning 20 when it happened. So
Mm,
um, he would have been very conscious of it. That makes more sense now. I was wondering why he would pick this era, but it's probably quite important to him.
yeah,
Um, and that's probably why the period detail is so damn good. When you say,
I thought so.
yeah. Um, Anyway, so the first thing we get to see after Jimmy Breslin's little intro being like, this is just one of the stories of many in New York City. Um,
Yeah.
we get a little glimpse of our boy Sam.
He's
Do
like,
you remember this?
shut the dog up.
Shut the dog up.
And this scene
Shut
happens like
up.
40 other times in the movie.
Yeah, so this is one of Spike Lee's favorite things to do is this sort of like cutaway
It's all
desaturated
green.
images. Yeah, it's like green turned up to the max.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I noticed earlier when I was looking at my settings on this video recording? was that you can touch up your appearance by pulling it across the little bar. You can make your face go really like,
Yeah, I knew that.
it's
No
gross.
offense. That's gross.
Yeah. We should all be natural.
What if I told you I
Presenting,
had it on max for myself?
I
No, I
wouldn't
don't.
believe you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Thank
believe
you.
you. Because you're a
Anyways.
natural beauty. Anyway.
Oh my God. Thank you. Sorry. That was a lot.
Um, so then ensues one of the maybe 50 songs in this movie that I don't understand. The budget for this fucking movie must be insane.
Yeah, the same thing I felt like was happening when I was watching Crooklyn. I was like, there are so many fucking songs in this back to back
Yeah.
that are like famous songs.
Because it started, the first big song is an ABBA song,
Yeah.
which we see the first murders we see are scored to that ABBA song. And then following that, we get Shay's changed her background to our boy Sam wailing away at that dog, talking to him.
Have you ever done this?
Change the background on Zoom. Yes, I have. It's funny. I like how much it's tickling you.
I had in my Zoom, because I was still in university when COVID happened.
Uh-huh.
And I
This story is that good, huh? Spit it out, Shay. Wow, you're laughing like crazy.
I'm gonna show you what I had as my background.
You gonna show me?
You can't see the text, but
Move out of the image.
it was just that it said click to see the goat man. And my teacher was like, was like so confused. She's like, you guys, are you seeing this message that says click to see the goat man? And she was all freaked out.
You gotta post a picture of the goat man for people with this
Yeah.
podcast release.
Oh my God. All right. Sorry. I'm done.
That's better.
That's better.
That's much better.
Whoa. Okay, I'm done.
Now
I'm
you're
done.
in space. Okay, yeah, you better be done. Do you like my pen, by the way? Look, it's the dog.
Yeah. At first I thought it was like a Mickey glove pointing up.
Its ears move. Look, you can move its ear all the way up.
Aw. Ooh, he's
Cute,
perked up.
He's perked up. He's excited. He watched Summer of Sam with me.
Right, because he was your pen.
He was my pen. And then, so lots of people have compared this to, it's like a sort of amalgamation of things like Boogie Nights and Seven and Zodiac and all those kind of things, right? Obviously, Zodiac's like 10 years later, but
yeah, I thought it was kind of rude. Someone was like, "This is the closest Spike Lee's ever come to being Martin Scorsese."
Yeah, what the fuck's that supposed to mean?
I was like, okay.
I feel like that's racist somehow.
I feel that way too.
Yeah. But at this point, he does make you think of Boogie Nights because the song Boogie Nights plays as John Leguizamo is getting out of a car and walking into a club with a woman on his arm.
Well, first they show some people in a car getting shot.
Oh yeah, no, I already talked about that with the ABBA song. Sorry for breezing over death like that.
Yeah, please like take a moment of silence.
We're gonna have a moment of silence, and I think everyone should sort of put down what they're doing when they're listening to this podcast and just take a full 60 seconds to every time someone dies in this movie, especially if you're watching the movie, pause the movie, because Spike doesn't give the space to breathe. You pause the movie. I think the movie would have improved if you did that.
I was gonna say that this movie is so fucking dense. I don't know if I should be saying these kinds of things.
Why?
I don't know. I just But it's very dense.
It is very dense. There's a lot going on.
I was taking my notes. I was like,
too much.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I literally did like 5 pages of notes because I was just scrawling the whole time. Constant. Whereas I remember when I was doing Carlito's Way, it was much easier because all the scenes like serve a purpose and have a very clear link to the next scene. But this one is so choppy.
Did you say link?
Did I say link?
Did you say link?
Did I say link?
Shea and Jordan go boating.
Yes, that's us.
The Movie Linking Podcast.
The Movie Linking Podcast. Listen along and build the chain. I can't remember what the fuck we were going to say. Something like that, all right?
Join us on our journey. Listen along and build the chain with us.
Wow. And cut that nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get to see Johnny and his bird in the club.
They are a real sexy couple, if you ask me.
They're a very sexy couple. It's true. And we get that sort of fantasy sequence of them dancing in the club, and everyone else disappears except the DJ.
Because you still need the music, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't play itself. That would be too outlandish.
This scene has some green coloring going on as well.
It does. It very much does. You like that whole green thing he does, huh?
I don't know if I like it necessarily. It's just something I noticed. Fair enough. I feel like it happens when people are like giving into their desires, I guess.
So
but we'll come. I think we'll circle back to that.
Yeah, because it comes up a lot. And then the next face I noticed was Richie Aprile from The Sopranos was there.
Richie,
you
long
fuck.
time no see, you fuck.
That was nice to see him there, and obviously this was the year The Sopranos started. So he had a busy year because he was the boss before Tony.
It's too bad, like, you know, Michael Imperioli was gonna be Vinny.
Wait, was he?
Yeah, it said that he couldn't because of Sopranos scheduling.
Oh, damn.
But I don't know if it is too bad. Because I don't know.
I feel like I would have loved that. I would have loved that, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you sad?
In another world, yeah. Maybe with all of our deep fake technology, I can replace him in the movie and have the Imperioli cut.
I just burped.
What do you think? You burped, right? Yeah, I wondered why you stopped and held your hand to your mouth like that.
Would you then add John Leguizamo as the weird cowboy?
Yes, I would. No, actually, I think it would still be Michael, and he would be doing like a Eddie Murphy dual role kind of thing.
Great.
I watched Bowfinger recently. You ever see that?
I love Bowfinger. It's so funny.
It is a funny movie. I'm still not entirely sure where I stand on Steve Martin, even after all these years. I kind of find him a bit annoying, you know?
You're such a little hater, you know that?
I am such a hater, and I can't get through a single episode without dropping hate on someone everyone loves.
You're dropping hate bombs all over the place.
Yeah, I got plenty in the sack, so I'm gonna drop them.
I personally, I like Steve Martin. The following is a clip from our weekly Patreon ep. For early access, merch discounts, and more exclusive content, go to the Patreon link in the description.
Psst. Psst. Yeah. Shea. Psst.
I don't know. It's just kind of a tasty little, yummy little movie.
And do you know which famous person set that place on fire?
We don't show your pussy on the main vids.
If you want to see Jordan's pussy, pay £4.50 or $5 a month, and you wouldn't believe what I found on the doorstep. I can't believe she says the N-word.
Are you
logging
stuff on Letterboxd while we're in this episode?
I did that one pretty awful.
That's a hate crime.
And you know what, Shea? I hate crime. in our next scene after this, we see John Leguizamo's nipped off for a bit to go fuck Mira Sorvino's cousin in the back
Yeah,
of the
he's
car.
like, "Oh, I'm not feeling too good," and then he goes and fucks her cousin
Yeah,
in her beautiful red car.
in her beautiful red car, and they're getting all sex juices all over the seats and stuff.
Mm,
It's just not nice.
no,
You're right. Did you get a pain there for a second, Shay?
no, that was them like moaning. Mm.
Oh, Shay, you okay? Did you stub your toe?
Yeah. So they're fucking in the car.
Uh-huh. And then
Wait, I wrote a little fact here.
about having sex in cars.
Yeah. Just some tips for how to do it. Apparently Richie, well, we haven't even gone to Richie, so never mind.
Okay. So this is the first time we see a little crossover between Son of Sam and our hero, Johnny Legs. Because he's being observed by someone in the bushes while he's pounding this jet. So yeah, then John Leguizamo he darts off. Why did they leave again? I don't even remember.
I
You're
think they
staring at
just
me
finished
blankly.
having sex. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Did they finish? They finished?
Yeah. I think
Oh,
that,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough. No, because he like runs out of the car for some reason.
God, it's like the movie's so fucking long. I don't remember.
Yeah. This all happens in the first like fucking 3 minutes. So,
Yeah.
um, uh, then there's another couple in the car nearby, and he goes and kills them instead. Old Sam.
He's like,
Um, those sequences are pretty brutal, huh?
yeah, my mom and I were like, most serial killers don't use a gun, I feel like.
Yeah, but he did. The
Yes.
44 caliber killer.
44 caliber. That's what I was gonna say. Could you tell by me
Mm.
going?
I thought you were doing other sex noises again.
So you know that they were sex noises.
Yes, I do know. I was just trying to play innocent boy.
You're so innocent.
I'm such an innocent guy.
I wonder if you'll ever come of age.
I wonder if I'll ever come of age. I wrote "Go off, Sam" here. I don't know why. I think Issa said that when he started shooting.
That's funny. It's a good thing to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Mira Sorvino had actually asked for him to bring back a BLT.
Yes.
Do you remember this?
She's like, "Where's my sandwich?"
And he's like, I don't know, I was too busy fucking.
I don't know.
And then on the way home, she's
He's a great husband.
After touching the seat, she's sniffing her fingers like,
yeah, she's like,
I know this smell.
Smells like fucking.
Smells like fuck. You sick fuck. And so yeah, he's not really painting himself as a very good husband so far. I wouldn't be happy to be married to the fella.
Yeah, I think cheating probably not the best thing a husband can do.
And you heard it here first. Shea is against cheating.
Absolutely, I'll take a stand against that myself. What about you?
She's on the market, so apply within.
I can't be cheated on currently because I'm single. So that's great.
I think it's bad as well. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not afraid to say it. I think it's bad. Bad practice.
Be careful making such a strong statement.
Yeah, all of the chronic cheaters will stop listening. I can't listen to this guy. He doesn't respect my my way of being. Yeah,
that's them turning off.
Yeah. I always do a dramatic turn off like that as well if I'm not enjoying something.
Yeah,
just make sure everyone sees. So he leaves a note this time at the murder scene, which is exciting. We get another little look into his house again, and so he's got this whole thing where he's spelling stuff out with little children's toy brick things.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
I make of it silly. That's what I make of it. I don't know. Is it based on a real thing? Did he have
Yeah,
toys?
I don't see the purpose of it
It just
exactly,
feels
and
like an aesthetic thing to be like, this is gross and scary and spooky, but he's also kind of like childlike. I don't know.
I don't love it
I don't love it either.
because I think it's just confusing, and you're like, what? And it never really comes to anything, to be honest.
Hmm. Um, so we shortly after that we're introduced to Adrian Brody, um, playing Richie. His name's Richie. And it felt like you had something that you wanted to say about him last time.
The movie was supposed to be more about Richie, but Spike Lee loved John Leguizamo's improvising so much that he made it more about him.
Yeah, that's true. I think it probably would have been more interesting if it was about Richie.
I kind of agree, I guess. By the way, is John Leguizamo, he's like known for improvising? Because he said he improvised in Carlito too.
Yeah, that's so true. I guess he was trying to establish himself as the improvising guy.
He
He does a good job.
improvised. Yeah. I'll say
Um,
later what he improvised.
oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
I bet you do.
Um,
So
uh,
he's got pointy hair.
yeah, so he's a punk. That's his whole thing, is that
He's a
he's a big
punk.
punk and he
I
loves
think he looks like a
the
Doberman
punk scene.
Pinscher.
He does look like a Doberman Pinscher. I agree.
And his mother
And
is
he,
Patty LaPone.
his mother is Patty LaPone. Me and Issa didn't realize that for the longest time. We're like, why do I recognize that woman?
And we see
Patty
her
LaPone.
her fucking tits.
Yeah, she gets a uh yes, them out.
Wasn't expecting that.
No, nor was I. Um, but Adrian Brody also has been
Do you
doing.
want to take
He'd
a
be doing
break?
it. He's been in a funny accent. Adrian Brody's accent.
We talked about that. It
Did we
sucks.
talk about that already? It sucks.
I
Yeah, he's
did.
doing
I
it.
was like, he better not fucking talk like that the whole movie, or I'm gonna be
Yeah,
really upset
I was very happy when he dropped it after a little while.
after like 2 seconds.
Hmm. So then,
Uh basically though, the scene with him also we established that there's all these fucking bullies, like Italian broy bully guys that
hmm,
Vinny's friends with.
yes,
And they
um,
hate non-normals.
yeah, and he's definitely not a normie. This Adrian Brody
They're
character.
like, you look fucking scary.
You look scary, dude. You're scaring my kid.
They're like, drop the fucking accent.
Yeah, they don't like him.
They don't care for him. He's not normal.
No. And it's just like us. We don't really care for people who aren't normal either.
I don't understand them.
I don't understand them.
It makes me uncomfortable and scared.
Weird people scare me.
I agree.
Hmm.
Just be normal.
Um, yeah. So, John, why have I already forgotten Vinny? Vinny,
Yeah, because I think it's just because like the whole movie, I was just calling him John Leguizamo.
yeah, me too. And as soon as I said Johnny Legs, I love that so much that
You
it's just
latched onto that, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Um, anyway, Johnny Legs sees Sam not killing him and killing these other people.
Right.
Um,
He's like, he's kind of like, did he let me live? And if
yeah,
so,
he's like, it's a good
why?
omen. Yeah, he's like, it was an omen. I need to stop cheating on my
Cheating
wife.
on my poor, beautiful, lovely wife, Mira Sorvino.
Yeah, because he doesn't feel right having a 69 with his wife. He thinks that's uncouth.
Something my mom pointed out so early in the movie, and I was so shocked because I was like, girl, you hit the nail on the fucking head.
What'd she
And then,
say?
okay, so the scene when we like get introduced to all these Italian bros,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down what she said. Give me a minute. Oh yeah. She says the interesting thing about them is daughters are all princesses and women are all whores, except wives because they're put on a pedestal. So women are either virgins or whores.
Jesus, was she giving a lecture? A feminist studies lecture in the middle
I
of the
was like,
movie?
go off.
Did she get up and stand at the podium?
Yeah, she did. It was like a little TED Talk moment.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that is exactly it. That's the culture. And for better or worse, I think Spike Lee likes to highlight that.
What do you say for
And
better or for worse?
well, because I'm not sure he has a very good. I'm not sure he is as critical of it as he could be
Yeah.
or should be.
I mean,
Often
there's
Spike's
a
criticized for not his female characters being a bit shit,
yeah,
which they are in this movie too.
it is true.
The one scene we get later between the two women talking is a classic, like, doesn't pass the Bechdel test shit of being like, they're literally just talking about the men in their lives and their love life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe that's not what we come to a Spike Lee movie for.
I mean, it's like he tries to tackle like so many things at once
Mm-hmm.
as part of the issue, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
But
then
next up,
I just want to say in that scene, there's one of those cool Spike Lee shots with like the moving forward.
oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think it's so stupid. Like, I understand sometimes when he uses it, but when here, it just feels so shoehorned in, you know?
I have to agree. Yeah.
He was like,
It's
where can
like,
I put it?
why?
Where can I put
What's
it
the
in this movie?
point?
I just do it with this guy. Yeah, there's no point to it whatsoever.
There later he uses it, and I'm like, I see why you did it there, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Then we get to see Ben Gazzara pretty soon after this, which is a nice surprise.
Plays Luigi.
Plays Luigi. He's some sort of mafioso, and the coppers are trying to get their help to find
Begrudgingly
the
asking them
killer.
for help.
Exactly. I love Ben Gazzara.
I love Ben Gazzara.
I was very excited to see him because I was like, oh, maybe we could do a movie that he's in next or something, you know?
Yeah. Will we?
I
Do you
didn't
want to?
know. You have to find out by the end of the episode.
I love you, Ben Gazzara.
I love you, Ben Gazzara. Um, and
I like how
he,
Myra Sorvino's dad wears a full tux when cooking.
yeah, that is the look, isn't it?
I love
And
him.
he'll have to get that dry cleaned a lot because
It's
it'll
gonna have
smell.
like grease like baked into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Run your finger across it, come off with a big sludge of brown
And then you
stuff.
like rub it against something, and be like, you know.
It's interesting. You do it the other way around. I go and you go
Yeah, who does
eat.
er? That's not.
Me, I do it.
Is
Maybe
that
it's
an English thing?
maybe it's an English thing.
I say English.
So we get our first note from the killer. Remember his note? Sam loves to drink blood, programmed to kill. Mentioning
Yeah,
Beelzebub and such.
absolutely.
Which is he has a nice sign off for his letter that I want to start using myself.
What is it?
Yours in murder, Mr. Monster.
I like that. That should be in our episode description.
Yeah, or maybe that should be our sign off for every episode.
Yours in murder.
Yours in murder, Mr. and Mrs. Monster. That's us.
That's us.
It was really helpful. Issa was translating all the Italian for me that they were saying.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't get to have that.
Yeah. So, what does your mother speak any other language than English?
No.
Yeah. Well, see,
I was gonna say like sarcasm or something, but it seemed a
my
little.
mom's fluent in sarcasm. Um,
Did you know Sarah Michelle Gellar was gonna be Ruby?
that would have been interesting.
I guess so.
I could have dug that. Well, Brody ends up walking in on his dad and Patty LaPone getting it on,
Boning.
and that's when we see Patty LaPone's bare chest. Did you wink?
Her...
Did you wink to your mum like that when it came on?
No, I think I was like, whoa,
Whoa, mama!
whoa. We didn't know what we were
You
in
know,
for later in the movie.
his dad plays. Oh yeah, true. His dad is played by the guy who's the villain in Dumb and Dumber.
No, I didn't know that.
You big Dumb and Dumber fan?
Never seen it in my whole life.
You know, that could even be what we did next week, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my God.
I've seen that movie more times than I can count. It was one of my childhood movies. I had it on video, you know.
It'd be interesting, I guess, though, to do something that like you've seen a million times and I've not seen.
Yeah, that's true. Because I could walk you through scene by scene just from memory.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work with this guy who was really obsessed with Rush Hour, and his favorite movies were Rush Hour, Rush Hour 2, and Law Abiding Citizen. And remember that movie?
Yeah.
I
That's
know,
incredible.
Sorry. But he had this knack for he just had really good memory, like almost like I guess like photographic memory or whatever, and he could recite the whole of Rush Hour to you scene by scene, and he would. Like on shift, he would go through the whole of the Rush Hour movie, and he would do Jackie Chan's lines and Chris Tucker's lines, and it was a hoot.
It's a good coworker to have to fill the time,
Absolutely,
you know. It's
yeah. Because
almost like watching
an hour
a
and a half
movie
passes just like that.
flies by. Was he a
Yeah.
good performer?
He was a great performer. He did a really good, if slightly offensive, Chris Tucker, and a really good, if slightly offensive, Jackie Chan.
You can imagine. But you know.
He was South Asian, so at least like it wasn't like I guess at least it wasn't a white guy doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems better than a white guy doing it for sure.
So Sam likes to kill women with brown hair.
Yeah, he does. In the Ben Gazzara scene,
Oh yeah.
he's like, what do you want me to do? Arrest myself? And they're all like, like I love when they laugh so hard at that.
Very us.
Yeah, he loves brunettes.
He loves brunettes, so the women are dyeing their hair blonde.
That's a fun element of the movie, like seeing the girl start out brunette and then become blonde.
I think Sam would love to kill you.
Thank you so much.
It's actually why I dyed my hair blonde.
Yeah, I was thinking you're scot-free.
I'm scot-free. Nice to meet you. I'm scot-free. What's your name?
Shea.
Oh, okay, sure. And obviously that's when it's finally revealed that Johnny is playing a hairdresser.
I know.
And
so late in the movie, I'm like, whoa, okay. By the way, he is so Warren Beatty and shampoo coated.
Absolutely. Well, he says one of the people says to him, if it isn't Warren Beauty.
Oh my God, I missed that.
Hear that?
That's hilarious.
That's really funny. So this is also when Adrian Brody starts to hit it off with, is it Ruby? Is she the one that he's dating?
Ruby the skank, yeah.
Ruby the skank, yeah. She's slept with just about everyone in town. Everyone's got a Ruby story, am I right?
Mm.
Do you ever get on with Ruby?
We all have.
We all have. Who hasn't?
I can't name anyone who hasn't.
They bond over their love of the Who. She's like, I know Pete Townsend wrote those songs.
He's like, how did you know that?
She's like, I read the liner notes.
And he's like,
oh.
Yeah, she's like really into him.
She's really into him, and he doesn't seem that into her. Is the idea that it's coded that he's not actually he's like straight up homosexual? Is that the idea?
We discussed that a lot, my mother and I.
Because he doesn't seem to want to perform any sexual act with her, except he just wants to play guitar to her.
I think he likes her as a person, but is not straight.
Yeah. Um,
But he kind of uses her as a beard, which is annoying and rude.
yeah, it is a bit rude, isn't it? So yeah, then shortly after that, we reveal that uh he's making his money. Adrian Brody's Vinny, no, Vinny's the other one. Adrian Brody's Richie.
Richie.
All these Italian names, man. Um, is making his money by being a male dancer at sort of like gay strip club thing.
And his show involves him murdering a female
Yeah,
doll, like
mutilating a female doll in
slitting
the
her
style.
throat. And
Yeah,
he's like,
which,
Ruby, come and hang out with me, see what I love to do.
and she doesn't seem to have any issue with it.
She seems confused, but she's like, I love this guy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's also after the show taking people up and essing their D's in exchange for
Mm-hmm.
money, I assume.
Also, before that happens, he has her over and she immediately tries to suck his cock.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you don't have
Bleep
to
his
do
bleep,
that.
I think you mean.
Yeah. She tries to bleep his bleep.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that. And she's like, oh my God, like someone who likes me for me.
And then he just starts playing his guitar again.
Yeah. And we also forgot to mention at the sex show,
Yes.
who's there.
Michael Imperioli is
And
our
he's like
guide, if you will.
yeah, he's our friend holding our hand through the whole scene.
Absolutely. Our
And
cowboy friend.
he's got a cowboy hat. I don't understand. Like he's doing something with his voice.
Yeah. And doesn't he say something along the lines of like, "You're so hot, I wish I was a lesbian" or something?
Yeah, quirky little line there. Do you think he wrote that line?
1000%
I
he wrote that line.
completely agree. He's like, I'm gonna give myself a fun line.
But
He looks hot though.
he looks fucking great. He
As
looks
always.
really good.
He's a
Yeah,
sexy
really,
MF.
really good. He is a sexy MF. But New York's starting to get a bit afraid, starting to get a bit scaredy cats out there. No one's out going to the clubs anymore.
Yeah, and thus
the streets are bare.
Mira Sorvino's dad's restaurant isn't doing so well.
Mm-hmm. It's all looking pretty bad for everyone as the heat's
Meanwhile,
increasing.
Vinny keeps trying not to cheat, but he keeps cheating.
Yeah, he keeps doing that. And he can't be helped. It's the nature.
He's super into women rubbing their asses on his bleep.
Yeah. There bleeps on his bleep, please. Yeah, me and these two were discussing this. She was like, is it that people are addicted to sex or are they addicted to cheating, people like this? Like, is it the act of the cheating that gets them going that they can't put down, or is it the actual sex itself?
My answer would be depends and a little bit of both.
Yeah, I guess so. There's some sort of like weird thrill that people get from that kind of thing.
Yeah, I just don't understand why he wants to be with her. And maybe it is like because he finds cheating thrilling. Because I'm like, why does he like just fucking divorce her?
But she's pure, she's angelic. It's like your mother says, you know.
Yeah, she's motherly, and he needs
But
a mommy.
him and his Mira Sorvino's trying to appeal to his perverted side, and you know, she's like, I want to make love with the light on, and he's like, how about we fuck this time?
Yeah, and he kind of fucks her in the most like transactional, non-personal way, which is like the opposite of what she wanted. He's like, yeah, you can have the light on, but I'm gonna not look you in the eyes and use you.
Spike Lee has his cameo as the newscaster guy.
I think he's
having fun with that.
I like him a lot. I think he's funny.
Yeah, he's actually he's doing a really, really good job.
But I saw that he got nominated for some like worst actor in some like the shitties or something, like some bad award show,
like the Razzies or something. That's wild. Yeah. Why?
Oh, stinker bad movie award.
Is it just the bad movie or his acting?
No, he was nominated for worst supporting actor, and I'm like, what the fuck?
He's like the best part of the movie.
I know, he's so funny.
Yeah, he's a real scene stealer. That's stupid. Um, this is also when our Italian boys also,
Misunderstood.
yeah, this is when our Italian boys start suspecting everyone. So they're making a list of all of the suspects in the neighborhood,
I know. They're like, what
including the
about your
priest.
cousin John? Or something, you know?
What about the priest?
What about the fucking priest? And my mom, my mom during that scene is like, a New York slice. Ain't nothing better.
Oh yeah, they're all eating their delicious pizza.
Yeah.
Made me want pizza.
I enjoy pizza, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry right now.
I ate before and during.
That's me. I'm going on slice. Slice?
One slice of pep for me.
That's how they would say it.
What do you think of all the baseball in this movie?
I find it irritating. You know, it's my always my favorite least. It's my least favorite bit of Seinfeld when they start talking about baseball and stuff as well. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Shut up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
New
I
York
don't
is
know
just
why you're talking about
yeah.
it. I guess though my theory with the baseball stuff, I don't know. This might be a little crazy.
Take it, Shea.
Cause like the movie's all about like it's like first you have like your inherent groups you're in, like you're white or black or whatever. And
Sure.
then there's like chosen groups, like Richie chooses to be a punk. And like
Hmm.
baseball teams are like these chosen groups that you kind of arbitrarily like hate people over.
Yeah, that's a good read. I mean, I don't think Spike's as intelligent as that, but um, that's good. That's it. Yeah, I totally see that. That's smart. You're smart, man.
Thanks, man.
This is going to be the clip for the episode, isn't it?
Okay.
Every time you say something smart, you're like, "This is the clip. This is the clip right
Oh
here."
yeah, I just keep clipping my own intelligent thoughts. And then like
Uh,
every time you say something stupid, I clip that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So again, it'd been a while since we saw our guy Sam, but he pops back in complaining about the dog barking again, and
Summer
then
of
he
Sam.
tries to shoot the dog.
Summer of Sam.
Summer of Sam tries to shoot the dog. Um, this is when he reveals
Oh
his
yeah,
name is
he shoots
Berkowitz
the
as
dog
well.
and then sorry, what were you saying?
No, that was it. He shoots
And
the
then
dog,
there's
and
a
then what?
montage.
The montage of all montages, the Bubba O'Reilly montage.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a gay character in the movie we haven't mentioned.
yeah, there is a gay character in the movie we haven't mentioned. What
Uh,
comment do you want to make about that?
Just in the montage he gets beat up
Oh, this is true.
and then the Italian bullies that I mentioned earlier beat up the people who beat him up
Yeah, that's
because
true.
they're like, he's our guy to beat up.
Because he's one of their clients who buys drugs off of
Yeah.
them. I like this whole like warped, stretched image that they keep doing in these montage sequences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a
Yeah.
good look. I really
It's
dig it.
nice.
Um, but I did start to think that these are the kind of things that with Spike Lee that kind of start to get on my nerves. He's just like very much like a music video filmmaker a lot of the time.
Yeah. It annoyed me both in this and Crooklyn. Like it's too much and to where I'm like, I don't care anymore because every scene is a song over
Yeah, it's kind
something.
of like nonsensical, like the use of that like floaty shot as well. I was like, there's no real rhyme or reason to this. You're just doing it because you've like developed the style and you want to just like shove it in there.
I do like the floaty shot though.
Yeah, I know you do.
I'm a sucker.
Mm, um, I like it when Adrian Brody smashes the bottle over his own head. That was pretty cool.
Very cool. Punk rock.
Very punk rock of him, and he is a real punk rocker. Um, and he's got his show at the CBGB as well, which is fun because it's always fun to see an iconic location.
Well, the brownout blackout thing happens before that, right?
Oh yeah, there's a blackout,
Which is
and
it's really hot and basically it's just showing that it's becoming more chaotic and people are becoming more violent.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, very much pointing out the racial divides of New York and
Mm-hmm.
the ways in which the poorer areas, aka the areas of minorities, are the ones where or the majority of the looting is happening and stuff. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
uh, but yeah, then there's the CBGB thing, and all of these punks are looking very scary outside there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Issa was like, "This is just London in 2023." Just so true.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
And
um,
and Ruby is doing like a show and she's kind of slaying, to be honest.
yeah, she's killing it, bro.
She's kind of great. And
Did you see
then
the name of their band
no.
on the drum? The name of their band, it was Late Term Abortion.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Which I thought was kind of funny. Um, so Johnny Legs and Mira Sorvino
Show
are
up.
gonna go to it, but they don't like the look of these folks,
Yeah. They're like, eh.
and the folks don't like the look of them.
But then some sort of handsome looking guy is leaving the CBGB and is like, look at this famous guy about Johnny Legs.
Oh no, that's when they go to Studio 54.
What? What are you
So
talking about?
they go to Studio 54 instead of going to CBGB,
Yeah, no, but
and
that it was at
they're trying.
CBGB, the guy's leaving and he
No, it
sees
was not. That was at Studio 54, my dude.
fuck
They
you.
get to Studio 54 and they're trying to get to the front of the line, and then this guy comes out taking photos and stuff, and then he's like, "Ah, you're the first famous person I've seen all night, or whatever." And then
Okay. Maybe
and
you're
then
right.
he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna get in here. Come with us. We're gonna go to this other place." Um,
And that
and
other place.
it's Plato's Retreat.
An
Very
orgiastic.
again a real place that existed,
Hmm.
um a sex club that existed from 77 to 85. I was reading about this earlier, where it
Oh, that's
was
cool. That's not
men and
very
women
long.
and women and women. You're not allowed, there was no gay sex allowed, like man on man gay sex allowed in there.
It's too bad.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? um but yeah, they have this very extended sex sequence that apparently was a lot longer and was NC-17 rated because of it
Yeah.
for a while. Um, and I did read that Mira Sorvino felt demoralized,
Uncomfortable. Yeah, I saw
was
that.
the word
I'm
she used.
sorry to you, Myra Sorvino.
Yeah, which is sad.
It is sad.
Um, Especially seeing as also in the next scene, Spike told Johnny Legs to improvise when that during their argument and spit in her face,
Oof.
which is
That
also
argument
a little bit gross.
that argument was very satisfying though, I have to say.
It was great. She calls him the F word fucking hairdresser, which I thought was funny.
So funny.
Um,
Um yeah, they finally like put it out in the open of like he's a piece of absolute garbage.
yeah, in their post sex club blues, they're having an
Well, yeah,
argument in
the
the car on the way home.
the best part is like, okay, I just want to say,
This is
first of
probably one
all,
of the best scenes of the movie, to be honest. I loved it.
it felt good. Yeah, I agree. Um, like in the sex club, she's finally feeling like she's pleasing him, maybe, even though I feel like he pressures her and it is a little rapey.
1000%, yes.
Um, and we're like, okay, but maybe he will be satisfied, I guess. Because
Mm,
she's like just bending over backwards to try to please him.
literally.
And and literally, and then they're in the car afterwards and he goes, did that guy fuck you better than me? And that was just like, come on, buddy, you
Yeah,
fucking
he's
piece of
so
shit.
pathetic. And then she's like, I know you fucked my cousin. You're a piece of shit, you linguini dick motherfucker.
Yes. And he says, I can't be a whore because I'm a man.
Yes, which is true, obviously, and
Yeah, of
factual.
course. Yeah, that holds up.
That would hold up in a court of law. Well,
Yeah.
Your Honor, I can't be a whore. I'm a man.
Yes.
Um, Anything else to say on that scene before I move on?
My mom and I were like, if she doesn't leave him, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm leaving this movie.
I'm
If she
leaving
doesn't
this
leave
movie.
him, I'm leaving this movie. So then our Italian boys start trying to stop the son of Sam from his and he's basically put out a thing saying that he's going to kill someone because it's a year later, right? For instance, a specific killing. So they go and slash the tires of the people they have on their suspect list, like the
That'll
Vietnam
stop
vet,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the priest.
These poor men.
um, and then shortly after that, we get to see Sam with the talking dog, which is fun.
Do you want to do your
Which
impression of the dog? I already did mine, basically.
no, that's okay. You can do yours again
Okay.
though if you want.
What does he say? Do you remember? Oh,
I
I
don't
want you
remember.
to go out and kill. Like he's
I want you to go out and kill. Um, so this next sequence is one of the ones where I was
My
like, okay,
mom said
maybe.
about the killer,
Yeah,
she
go ahead.
goes, "How does he pay his rent?"
Yeah, I don't know. I should have actually looked into what his money source was. I think maybe he had a job or something.
He's like
Um,
totally normal at his job every day, but then he's like, "Shut
Shut up! Shut the dog up!
the dog up."
Um, um,
Yeah.
this next sequence was the bit where I was like, oh, maybe is the most tasteless part of the movie that like I can understand someone actually getting upset about is they're match cutting the sort of like the plays of the baseball game to the murder sequence. Like
Yeah.
they're playing like the radio of the commentary of the game, and it's all kind of cut directly to
Yeah.
his actions, and it kind of felt a bit like gross to me.
Yeah. I hear you.
um then the Italians are just full on convinced that it's Richie. um
Because he's like non-conforming and therefore evil, I guess.
exactly, and then they have the funny bit where they've got like the drawing in the newspaper, and then one of them draws the spiky hair on
They're
top.
like,
They're like, it's
"You
him.
tell me that doesn't look like fucking Richie?"
He's got like a completely different nose and everything.
I
Like,
do love those spikes. Like I love how it looks. The
yeah, yeah,
drawing.
yeah. Yeah, the drawing's good. Um,
They have the Bed-Stuy interviews.
oh yes, which is another very Spike Lee thing. That's his sister there as well, isn't it? She's one of the people.
Oh, I didn't know. That's cool.
Yeah. One of the people he
Um,
interviews.
they tell Vinny that Richie is gay and
Yes,
probably the son of Sam.
yes,
And then Richie has a blonde mohawk.
yes. He does. What do you think of this look? It looks very fake. It looks like it's been glued on the top of his head.
It does. It looks glued on. And
Yeah,
I think he looks like Vincent Cassell.
he does look kind of like Vincent Cassell, like that, all bald. Um, and
Then he
then
goes back to his job and he's all drunk and fucked up on pills and
yes, and
coke.
that's when he pours the coffee over her head, which was the
Famously
improv you were talking
improvised.
about. Yeah.
He
I
says
hope that
something
coffee wasn't
funny.
hot.
Yeah, that
I
would
hope it
be
didn't hurt
messed
her.
up.
That would be messed up.
There is something funny he says in that scene where he's like, "I'm freaking fucking hungry." Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't even remember that.
I don't know. I thought that was funny.
By this point in the movie, I was getting a bit tired.
I was tired as well.
It's quite a long movie.
Whew.
Just keeps going.
Almost as long as our episodes.
Yeah, I mean, how long has this episode been going?
2 hours.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole chunk we're gonna cut out anyway.
Yeah, I think we've actually trimmed the fat. We've done pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we have done a pretty good job, I think. So this is when she finally decides to up and leave him, Mira Sorvino.
Finally, dear God.
And
Leave this piece of shit.
he's doing some of his best acting in this scene as well, I think. As is she. They have a very good. There's a very good sequence, I think. Except it's kind of annoying because that song's playing in the background the whole time too. Don't Leave Me This Way, the Thelma Houston song or whatever, and it's like it's a little on the nose, maybe.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's a bit much. Yeah.
But then obviously after she leaves him, he starts hitting the coke hard.
Coked
He's
out.
he's coked out of his freaking brain hole.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Give me him, Davy Kleinfeld.
Davy Kleinfeld. Yeah, these are very cokey movies. These two movies we've picked so far.
Next movie, let's just not have any cocaine.
Yeah, and let's make sure it's a cocaine-free movie.
Keen.
Um, and then the cops catch the son of Sam
Yes.
because of his
But
parking ticket. But yes, but
there are some fellas, some Italian fellas that have not heard the news.
because news they wouldn't have gotten a notification on their phone about this, would they?
Yeah, we were talking about that. This never would have happened nowadays, given our
Yeah,
phones.
yeah. If this Seinfeld episode was in the modern day, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Um, so they
So they're
decide
going to get
to.
Richie.
They
But
decide to
first
go and get Richie.
they're like, let's get Vinny to trick him into
Mhm.
coming out of his house, basically.
Yeah, because they don't want to beat him up inside of his house. I don't know. I don't
It's
really
got to
know
be
what the
on the
logic is
streets for
there.
this one.
Yeah. Which they do, and then they start to beat the shit out of him, huh?
Fuck you, fucking Vinny, you piece of fucking garbage.
Yeah, Vinny is a piece of shit.
Vinny
He's
is
not really
so
got any
vile.
redeeming qualities, has he?
He's so much worse than Son of Sam.
So much worse than Son of Sam.
Because Son of Sam is mentally ill, to be fair.
Yeah, he also it was demons who told him to do it. So
Yeah, the dog told him to do it. Like, what, are you not
yeah,
gonna listen?
yeah. But in real life, he claimed it was like a 2,000-year-old demon. He was like, it's a 2,000-year-old demon, and the
I
dog
think
told me
they
to do
say
it.
that in the movie.
They say it in the movie as well. Okay, fair enough.
The
Um,
reporter.
but then the guy from Dumb and Dumber comes out. He's his dad, I guess, or his stepdad or something. Comes out
Richie?
and he's like, yeah, he's Richie's
Yeah,
dad or stepdad.
right, because they're newlyweds.
Yeah. So he comes out and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they're like, "This guy's the killer. He's the son of Sam." And he's like, "No,
They caught the
he's
killer.
not.
What are you
They
talking
caught the
about?
killer. It's all over the news.
They're like, you're fucking joking.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
I got bullshit. I like when we do a pointing. That's fun.
Yeah, me too. The pointing's great. um,
Watch us on YouTube. YouTube.com/Shea and Jordan Go Boating.
Yes. Is it backslash? Is it not forward slash?
I don't know.
I assume it's forward slash. Anyway, so that's all where it sort of wraps up, right? The movie sort of comes to its close.
Yeah.
It's
well, of course they have a scene of baseball first.
They obviously have to have a baseball scene first because it's kind of the crux of the movie is baseball.
That's kind of the point of the movie.
We get a nice little sign off from our friend Jimmy Breslin again, who's talking about. He's like, this is just one of the New York stories, right? He's like, in '77, Elvis Presley dies. There was a '77 heat wave.
Yeah,
and there was also this. This is just one of the things that happened in New York at that time, which is kind of what the movie is also saying. It's like this is one thing that's happening whilst all this other stuff is happening, you know.
Yeah.
And then, of course, very subtly, they play that New York, New York Sinatra song over the end credits. And I do like the end credits. I like the fact that it's like newspapers.
Yeah. My mom was like, did you see that? Did you see the credits? And then she went back.
That's so funny. Did you happen to find out how many fucks were in this movie? Is in the word fuck?
Oh, I know that's my duty, but I didn't do it.
No, I've got it. I want you to guess.
Thank God. I owe you one. You want me to guess?
I want you to guess how many fucks, yeah. It's actually staggering. So pick a staggering number.
250.
435.
Holy shit.
I think that might be one of the top ever. I think it's like one or two on the top fucks in movies of all time. Pretty crazy, huh?
I think murder warrants a lot of fucks.
T-shirt. Murder warrants a lot of fucks.
the breath was in reference to just talking about that movie.
Oh yeah. It's a movie that does kind of feel like a long hot summer's night, kind of exhausting. But it was good. It's a good
Yeah,
movie.
no, I liked it. I think we're being harsh. I think my main issue is it's too dense,
Too
too
dense for sure.
many on the nose songs.
Hmm.
I just like, yeah, I think it just needed some like spaces to where things could be slow and breathing and
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah, a
absolutely.
little too much going on.
I'd say. Um, so yeah, that wraps up Sam and his summer.
Sam,
Sam.
Sam.
Sam's in jail now.
25 to
Um,
life.
yeah. What happened to him? Did he kill himself in jail or something? Someone kill him? Seems like the
He's
kind of
in
guy who would have been killed
he's
in
in
jail.
Mindhunter.
Oh, is he? Oh, so they invented the Son of Sam laws. Do you know about this?
Hmm. Yeah, sounds familiar.
So it's basically you can't um make profit off of being a serial killer. Essentially, you like can't legally get like a book deal and stuff
Hmm.
because
I
he
thought
was
you were
another
gonna
one. And
say you can't kill people even if a dog told you to do it.
yeah, you legally can't kill people even if a demon dog told you to.
A 2,000-year-old dog.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Is that
so
insensitive?
I think it's been long enough, right?
All right.
I think so. Um, let's see his death. When did he die?
Yeah, he does seem like the type to get killed in jail.
Why can't? Why is it not giving me this information like straight up? Oh my
Straight
god,
up.
because he's not dead.
Whoa.
He's still in jail. That's crazy.
Dang.
God, imagine being that old and just in jail.
What's that like?
I don't know. Maybe we should try and get him on the pod.
I mean, he's in Mindhunter.
The real guy.
No.
Under his motive on the Wikipedia page, guess what it is?
um, pleasing a dog.
Yes, no, it's misogyny apparently.
Mm. A lot of misogyny
Um,
in the movie, of course.
yes, reflective of a society that we live in. Um, so Shea,
Yeah.
where do we go from here?
Ooh.
So it's quite the scope we have really because there is the actors who there's many prolific, very good actors here. There's
Did you know there's
Spike,
a
but
character in it named Tony Olives?
I did not know that. Um, there's obviously the writers, Michael Imperioli. We could use him as a sneaky jump to a movie that he's an actor in. He's also
Yeah.
an exec producer on the movie.
I am
Um,
interested in the Ben Gazzara
the Ben
situation.
Gazzara lineage is also a kind of nice idea too. Um, but then there's obviously like the cinematographer.
It's a woman.
Um, it's a woman. It's a woman.
It's a woman.
A woman. I always remember from one of the only James Bond movies I've seen, like one of the early ones.
Hmm.
There's a doctor, and they're like, the doctor's going to come and see him in this room, and they're like, oh, Doctor Smith will be in a sec. And then when she walks in, this doctor, he goes, a woman. Just always playing in my head, a woman.
The doctor's a woman.
The doctor's a woman. She was the cinematographer on I Shot Andy Warhol. I like that movie. You like that movie?
Never seen it.
Guess who else is in that?
Ooh.
Michael Imperioli.
Jesus Christ, this guy's everywhere.
This guy's everywhere.
Can't get rid of this fucking guy.
Gotta get rid of this fucking guy. Yeah, that's a good movie. I wanna put that
Meh,
up as a potential. No, okay,
meh.
you're not interested. Um,
I don't know, I guess so. We can have it up there.
it's in the list.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, I guess we can take our time with this, and then we can always cut this down.
Yeah, there's no. Who cares? Our podcast can be as long as we fucking want.
Yeah, it's so true. Oh my god, it's so true.
Oh my god. Um, I see what you mean though, because there are like spaces where we're like not talking or whatever.
Yes, exactly. Like right
Okay.
now.
Mm-hmm. For example.
Are we both just like looking deep into this right now?
I'm looking at Ben Gazzara. I've never seen Anatomy of a Murder, and he's in
Which one's
that.
Anatomy of a Murder?
What's our pal Jimmy Stewart and it's Otto Preminger.
Oh God. Ben Gazzara.
Ben Gazzara.
Roadhouse. You seen Roadhouse?
Yeah, I would do it though.
I feel like I've seen it too many times. I'm not sure I want to watch it again right now.
Cindy, the girl who has a crush on you, quoted you saying, "Shout out Brandon Braun." So she's watching it,
That's great.
and we love that. Shout out to
I wish
Cindy.
I wish I looked better in the
No, she likes that. I'm sure.
she likes that look.
Yeah.
Hey Cindy. Hey Cindy.
Stop doing the murderous voice.
We could do Buffalo 66. We could do Happiness. That was a big year for Ben Gazzara.
Yeah. Interested
Um,
in both of those. I've only seen Happiness once, and I saw it recently.
wow. I've seen it many times.
Okay.
So that's the potential.
Husbands.
Um, Husbands. Yeah, we could go into a little
That's very like masculine. Like I feel like our last two movies have been so masculine.
That's a good point. You know what I think might be a good idea?
Hmm.
Have you seen the movie Office Killer?
No.
The movie it's directed by Cindy Sherman and it's got Carol Kane and
Mm-hmm.
Molly Ringwald in it
Yeah.
and
Michael Imperioli.
Michael Imperioli. See,
Is it good? Have you seen it?
I remember really enjoying it. Yeah, I saw it like a million years ago, so I'd very much like to watch it again. Um, and I think we could do something for the fans to give them a movie that's under an hour and a half to watch. You know,
Okay. Um, have you been
do you?
planning on going to that movie?
No, no, I had noticed it earlier. It had been one of the ones I'd noticed because I was like, oh, you know what? That's a pretty good shout.
Yeah.
Um, because it's an hour and 20 minutes. I think it's
This
an
does look
underseen
really fun.
movie that would be really nice to get like have more people see.
I feel like my mom and I will have so much fun watching this.
Absolutely. And it's interesting, obviously, because Cindy Sherman is not a filmmaker. You know, she's not famous for being a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it
Uh,
might be a good shout.
one thing I did want to talk to you about
Yes, sir.
is never mind.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so should we do Office Killer?
Let's fucking do it. Office Killer
Office Killer. And I'm
from
very excited to start seeing
1997.
these all written down. I should start writing down the links and who the link is as well.
Yeah, I gotta make a graphic of that.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks so much for listening. It's been a hot one, I'd say.
It's been a pleasure as well, though, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I like the summer. Don't know about you.
I like the summer. Are you sad it's ending?
Yeah, I am kind of sad that the summer's ending. It's my favorite time of
Yeah.
year, you know.
How about the heat wave? Is that over?
That's pretty much over. Today it's a little stuffy still, but it's definitely cooled down. So
Not too bad.
um, not too bad, not too shabby.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Watch Office Killer.
Yes, we'll help you. We'll facilitate that as well.
Anything else you want to say?
Um, our closing line, which I already forgot what it was.
Join us on our journey, listen along, and build the chain with us.
Join us on our journey, listen along, and build the chain with us. And we'll see you next time on Shea and Jordan Go Boating.